This time on the driver's corner, we're going to put this steering wheel in my C5 Corvette. Stay tuned. That's right, it's been a long time coming. I have had this steering wheel since like the summer, and I just haven't had the time to go ahead and install it in the Corvette. While I have the Corvette apart, I'm also going to be replacing the DIC button set. Let's turn around the right way, as mine kind of stopped working. I don't know if this is actually going to solve my problem, but I'm not able to adjust any of the functions that are on here. So my hope is that when I get this thing taken apart to put the steering wheel in, I can pop this bad boy in there, and then maybe I'll be able to program my key fobs and everything else. So in this video, you're going to see me take out the factory steering wheel and airbag and install the new one, as well as this part right here. In order to install an aftermarket steering wheel into a C5 Corvette, you have to take out the factory airbag steering wheel and the steering wheel itself. So I'm going to show you a couple things that you need. In order to install the aftermarket steering wheel, I'm not doing quick release. I know I see a lot of guys doing that, but that is not I'm not about that life. I don't need to be able to pull the steering wheel off easily. So I got this hub adapter. This is from NRG. This was a used one, so somebody bought it and returned it. It looks like brand new to me, but I got a good deal on it. It was like 80 bucks shipped or something along those lines. Steering wheel was like in the 220s, 230 range. I can't remember. And then I also had to buy this set of machine screws, Allen heads, to connect the steering wheel to the hub, because the steering wheel did not come with it. So that's the basic stuff. I also ended up getting a tool that I'll show you in order to get the steering wheel off the Corvette, because it's a little untraditional. All right, other tools that you are going to need would be like a steering wheel type puller or a pulley puller. You can rent these or borrow them from your AutoZones, your O'Reilly Auto Parts, your Advanced Autos, etc. I happen to have one. This is a cheap one from Harbor Freight. Now, this would pull out a typical steering wheel. You'd choose the right threaded bolts, and then it would pull the steering wheel off. Well, the Corvette does not have bolts, bolt holes that you can use. So what I ended up getting was these little jaw. These fit into this center device right here, and these should pull the steering wheel off. These are, I got this from AutoZone. They wouldn't sell it to me, but they would rent it to me for $5, and I am not going to return it. So this was their rental set. I'm going to keep it. It's $5. May come in handy later. As with most projects, first thing we're going to end up doing is popping the hood, and we're going to have to disconnect the battery. So basically all I should have to do is take the negative cable off on the side post style. Just get it loose, and then there we go. So we should have no power now, and we shouldn't really have to worry about airbags exploding. On the back side of the Corvette steering wheel, there are two holes. So it's really hard for me to videotape, but basically they're in line with this bar right here. So if you put your finger around the back, you'll poke into a hole. Inside that hole, there is a T27 style Torx bit. So in order to take it off, you kind of have to rotate the steering wheel down to where this, each time, so the bar is down the bottom, in order to be able to get, let me see if I can, I don't even know if I can show you. It's so tight, but basically in order to get the socket in and give yourself enough room with your wrench, you're going to need to have the steering wheel turned to the bottom. And let's see if I can. So I did a little snip and unplugged the ground, and the airbag is out. So with the handy dandy steering wheel puller tool, I have to get this bolt in the center here loose, this nut, and then each one of these are going to go into, well, they might go in there. These are supposed to go in. Maybe you got to turn them. Yeah, all right. Put them in and twist, and then the steering wheel should pull out. So I got to figure out. I've got to figure out what size this is, and then we will go ahead and yank it out. All right, so I have a 21 millimeter socket on the end of my impact. I don't know if I'm gonna need two hands here, but let's see. Nope, came off just fine. Now everybody always tries to wiggle them off. It's never gonna come. So let's go ahead and get my steering wheel puller connected. So with this puller, just gonna put this in the center like so. This will end up pushing up against that center hub portion. So I'll just pick one of these tips and push it on there. And that'll go kind of in there. We're going to be using these outer two right here. So you'll take this, your tool slides in like so. Same thing here. And nope. Well, that didn't go well. That actually broke a chunk of the steering wheel right there. Let's see, plan B. All right, so I just didn't film any of that because there was too much swearing and there are kids that watch my channel. So that was the worst. I am going to show you what the heck just took me about 2 hours. All right, so this broke. The mounting point for one of these jaws right here broke off. And so I had nothing to grab that onto. I tried to grind this down so I could slide it around somewhere else. That didn't really work. I mangled the living crap out of that thing. Basically I stripped out and flared that. So this Pittsburgh kit is junk. But I did finally get the wheel loose. Oh, that was the worst. Look at the damage. I ended up spraying it down with PB Blaster, and that really helped. Now I've got to do a little research and figure out how to get this off, because I guess you don't use the clock spring anymore with the new steering wheel. So here we go. All right, so I just yanked off the cover, and this is held on with a lock ring. So I gotta go find my lock ring pliers. Finally found my pliers. Did it. This should kind of just, all right, so before I go tracing down all of this wiring, I'm gonna go ahead and take out the bezel around the speedometer so I can replace my buttons and see if that fixes some of the issues I've been having with none of these working. So I'm not gonna show you that. It's a T10 right there and right there. And hopefully this is easier than that stuff was. All right, so there's a couple screws that you have to get out. So like here, here, and then at the bottom to get that lower panel off. What you're doing is you're chasing down this guy right here. It's 2 wires. It goes into that connector. This, oh, geez. It's just hard to film. This little lock is in there. You have to push it up. I used a screwdriver and got that up. And then I'm going to pull this out. And then this is where I'm going to be putting my resistor. So I'll be putting my resistor in this yellow clip here in order to trick the airbag light. All right. This is unplugged and I fished it out from behind there. So I will be showing you the resistor and stuff that's going to slip into here. I'm probably going to have to make, I think, a little harness to clip on there just based upon the way those look. This looks like it's the female, and in the inside of this is a male end, so I've just got to figure out how to get that resistor across that end there. I was not gonna cut this in case I decide to go back to a stock steering wheel. So, but I may just clip it here, make the resistor, and then just plug this part back in, but I'll let you guys know what I decide to do. All right, so it appears to get just this cover off of the speedometer surround. You have to take the speedometer out as well. So there's a bolt right there and another one right, oh man, right up in there. There's there it is, 7 millimeters. And that should get the speedometer loose. Now would have been a great time if I'd known that to do lighting upgrade inside there, but I didn't know, and so we are not doing that. So I'm regretting all my life decisions right now. This turn signal stock has to come out for the speedometer to come out. You just push on a tab up here, which is this one, and then the whole thing slid out. This here, there is a bolt right here and a Torx bit right there. And I'm going to take those out and see if I can get this to come off to where this whole thing can slide out, because in GM's infinite wisdom, that screw is in the way. This is all in the way of that getting out. Everything's rearward facing like this. This couldn't just clip out. No, this has to be unscrewed in multiple places, and the whole speedometer has to come out to do that. So also I have to take all those controls off, and hopefully I don't have to drop the entire steering column down further in order to get that out. So bear with me. 2 screws out. That guy should pull down. Okay, so now hopefully I can get the speedometer out, but I'm not going to risk damaging it, so you guys are going to have to hold. Speedometer's out. All right, I am going to start taking out these brackets that hold the front tray, the front like surround thing on, so I can pull out and get these little guys off. So I unplugged it. This goes in here. I unplugged that, and I'm not going to take this whole speedometer out of the car. I'm going to try to do this. I might have to, actually. Now that I said that, I might have to take this thing all the way out. Panel is off, and now we just have to take these off. And I'll probably disassemble this to see, well, if this works. So if the new switch that I bought actually solves the problem I was having, then I will disassemble it and see if I can repair it as a spare. Both the connectors are on. I've got the center nut on there, and now what I'm going to do is try to go ahead and place the steering wheel with those Allen bolts. Getting close. All right, so I decided to make the adapter on this plug make things a little bit easier. Hopefully that works. So I used a 2K ohm resistor. I think it was I used a resistor. I can't remember what it is. I think it's 2K ohm resistor. And this should help the airbag light not come on. All right, I'm gonna keep it on with that, and then see if I can get this horn hooked up. So steering wheel is in. I haven't put the sticker on the button yet. I also have not hooked the battery up. I'm gonna do that right now just to see if what we did over here with the buttons works. I'm not gonna put everything back together today because it's getting dark and I wanna change out my radio. So I have a new radio to put in there and I just wanna kind of get this thing buttoned up. So we're gonna check and see if I did the horn right. We're gonna see if the airbag light comes on and make sure nothing is crazy out of whack. Okay, so I have no airbag light on, and this was completely unsuccessful. So this whole button replacement deal that I took the whole dash part for did not solve my problem, so I'm gonna have to go back to the drawing board on that. The new steering wheel is in and the horn works. Haha, look at that. As always, I really appreciate you guys tuning in. I'm excited about that steering wheel, and we will take it out for a drive as soon as I get the dash put back together when I do the radio install, which will be the next video that is coming up. So I appreciate you guys tuning in. If you are interested in what I'm doing, subscribe below, like my videos, and comment. I try to respond to everything that I see in the comments. So have a good one. See you on the next one. All right, let's see what happens. Uh-oh. Battery is not connected. I feel like that airbag light flashing, oh, went away.